became among the followers of John. Agreed. We have to agree on what John the Baptist taught, but now we have to agree on what the purpose of John the Baptist's baptism was. If it is the completion of the perfect righteousness circle of matters, then the final thing is the immersion. And when you come out of the immersion, okay, at this moment I have begotten you. You are now perfectly clean. You are now my son. That, of course, changes in Greco-Roman Hellenistic presentation to be a competitor of the emperor and actually divine begotten son of God. I think it was Nero or Augustus. The idea was that God lowered them down by a golden thread or something like that in Greco-Roman mythology, etc. So that's your question. Okay. The exam. 2 out of 3 questions. Essays. Some short identifications. What could the short identifications be? Something from the history that we dealt with, and something from the Gospels that we dealt with. For instance, I could ask you, who was Phineas? Or I could ask you, how did Elijah show zeal for God? Or something like that. Something from the history that we emphasized. Or I could ask you something about John the Baptist's presentation in Josephus. Or all of the ways that the different leaders were leading people out into the wilderness. We covered so much in our historical sections, there's a whole bunch of questions to answer. Or I could put a thing like adoptionist baptism. So in the identifications, there'll be 6 of those. I just want you to show that you're familiar and know what they are. So you answer those in 2 sentences or less. You can bring note cards with notes on them. You can bring your harmony and your gospel books and even Josephus, but no textbooks. You can bring notes on note cards if it will help you not forget something you want to remember. Short, small 5x6 or 3x4 note cards, whichever is convenient for you. And then the essays. The essays, something on the background, something on Jewish history previously, something perhaps on the coming of the Romans, on the Herodians, on the situation in Palestine prior to the eruption of all these things, something maybe that would a combination of all these things, something relating to the tax issue or as being a crucial issue, the date of these kinds of things. And all the other things I just mentioned about, these revolutionary leaders, these imposters, as Josephus calls them 3 or 4 times, leading people out into the wilderness there to show the signs of their impending redemption. And all the struggles that went on from the time of the coming of the Romans in 63 BC to the final fall of the temple in 67 AD to the Bar Kokhba uprising in 136. That could be something. Then since we didn't get very far in the Gospels, we can do something on the genealogies of Jesus Christ. The John prologue, the Neoplatonic Hellenistic John prologue, the presentation of John the Baptist in the Scripture, the different ways he is presented, evaluating how you see it, perhaps something on the things we just talked about today, how you would spin the idea of the prostitutes and the tax collectors going into heaven before the general mass of people, etc. Understanding Jesus and John better, etc., which I disagree with thoroughly, but that doesn't matter if you can justify it in your case. Don't worry about what I think. Things of that kind. Can you think of anything else that should be covered? I know it's amorphous. I don't think you'll finish it, as I said. You just do as much as you can. Write a good, interesting essay, including your own ideas. Don't answer every little point that I bring up in terms, only the short answers. That's just to get you thinking. Write yourself a good essay, and if you don't finish, then put a note saying, I would have covered this, 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 and this in the same intelligent style I've already demonstrated. And I will say, yes, I see that you would have, and I'll give you credit for the whole essay. So try to get a second essay started. I don't think we have time in this class to do 2 essays, but we'll do our best to get them both started. At least one maybe most of the way through and the second started. If you can do them both, hey, you're a genius. So don't feel bad if the time is running out. I may even let the people who feel they have more to say hand in their test now and go and write the rest somewhere else and bring it for extra credit. I may allow you to do that. I'll see how things look at that time. Questions? Sorry to keep you so long. Huh? Blue book? Pink book? Big book? Small book? Any book you like, but if you use a blue book, make it a bigger one than a smaller one, because the smaller one looks like you haven't written much. But a big one looks like you know more. So make a big blue book, not a small blue book. So what else can I say? And a piece of paper, your shirt sleeve,
The test is a...
whatever you want. No, not my two books. Not my book. Only textbooks and Josephus. I mean, only Gospels, Harmonies, Bibles, and Josephus.